Hey, here's another way to start your day. Here's the one question, the one thing that you ought to do every day. And it's something that I do when I'm killing it. I write on my board, and this is the constant reminder, right? Write it on my board, I write it in the journal. What does success look like today? What that means is, what is success today? You know, we always got goals. We're always trying to get to the next place. We're trying to be a billionaire. We're trying to be a mogul. We're trying to do a lot of different things. I get it. We're building our business. We're being a good dad. We're being a good mom, whatever, right? We're trying to stay fit. You know, there's so many things that we're trying to do. But the one question, if you ask yourself this every day, right, and then you answer it, you spend the rest of your day answering this question, what does success look like today? And so what that means for me is like, let me write down what that is. What does success look like? And then I write down a few things that I can get accomplished, right? And the major thing that I need to get accomplished. And so that is it. I mean, that sounds so simple, but what happens is, you know, even though it's simple, there's times that I forget. You know, there's sometimes that I'm not as purposeful as I should be. And I forget to ask myself the question, what does success look like today? Now, luckily, I got a lot of good people around me. I got an amazing assistant that's been with me for a long time. She kills it, and she asks me that question. So every single day, she sends me over to things that I got to get done. You know, my to-do list, right? But I look at a to-do list as things that just on a list of things that you need to get done. Here's tasks that you have to get done. But there's a success list, right? And what that means is, even though I have this to-do list, there's some of these things that I can keep moving over into the next day. There's some things that ain't gonna change if I don't get them done. And a lot of times those things that is gonna make your day most successful are not to-do list type items, right? Because to-do list items, a lot of times you're gonna get them done. You know, you're gonna get them done at the deadline. You know, you gotta pay that parking ticket. You know, you gotta file your taxes. You gotta, you know, turn in it's a deadline. There's something, and you're gonna eventually do those things. A lot of times the things that's on your success list, though, are things that you could get away with not doing, but if you do it, it moves the needle so far ahead. So in my mind, I think about things like success list as opposed to a to-do list, because those are very different things, right? If I do these things, right? If I accomplish this, I'm going to get closer to my dream. I'm going to get closer to the kind of success that I want to have. I'm going to get closer to making the kind of money that I want to make and living the kind of life that I want to live. So what does success look like today? Right? So if you determine that every single day, baby, you're gonna stack good days on top of good days, on top of good weeks, on top of good months. And if you do that, you can't help but win. Look, remember to always ask yourself that question. Hey, do it for 30 days. 30 days. And make sure that list is real. And make sure that you make that every effort you can to accomplish everything on that list. Your life is going to be different, I'm telling you.